H, this has been a long journey for you to get to this point. I'm just curious as to what your thoughts are on where you are now, especially going into a free agency summer where you've made a name for yourself and you would think you've made yourself into a player that the league wants, that the league values.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it has been a long journey to get here. If you know anything about my story, I went to a smaller school, burst into the scene with the NBA G League team with the Sixers, played overseas, came back, and found my way to this organization that gave me opportunity. Been here for about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, something like that. So, just very grateful for the organization for just putting me through, bringing me in and just put me through that developmental system, and and it shows that they really helped me as far as my game getting better, put me in the right situations, understanding how I'm gonna be a player in this league to come.
Haywood, if you had a message for the fans and the environment that they created this year at home, what would it be?
I would just say thank you for bringing the energy, whether we were losing, winning, whatever. Just thank you and appreciate it. And it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, sorry we couldn't be a better home team. I would say too.
Haywood, we talked last year at this time about what you wanted to add, and you talked about wanting to add the floater, and we saw that across the playoffs with you kind of faking the handoff, getting to that floater. Now, what's the next step, I guess? Just what is the next thing that maybe you want to try to add to your game?
I think just definitely adding more to the offensive end for sure. Like you said, working on the handoffs, fake, get to the floater. Now it could be, attacking a closeout. More ball handling, trying to be a playmaker, kind of. Working on stuff like that. Maybe coming off screens as a ball handler, making plays. They go under the screen, stop behind, shoot the three, or to go over, attack. Maybe get downhill for a lob to the big or kick out spray. Just becoming more comfortable in the offense end of the floor for me. With just handling the ball and playing off the catch and just catching goals and just being more aggressive. But I think I definitely showed that was more to me than the year before as far as offensively for sure.
Hey, well, this is, I guess, the first time you've been in this exact situation as far as free agency. How do you plan to approach? I know it's a few months ago. How do you plan to approach, and how much are you hoping that you stick around here?
Yeah, my approach is pretty much, just gonna be now for now, just relax with the family and my friends. Take about a week or two off, and I'll get right back into it in the gym. And when that time comes to figure out, where I'll be playing next season, I'll go through it, slowly and just, pray about it. And definitely, like you said, I definitely want to stay in Miami. I love being here. My family lives here. My daughter lives here. So that's a big priority for me, just to be around my daughter a lot. But, yeah, I just got to figure it out and just take my time and understand that, it's going to work itself out. And everything happens for a reason.
Hey, with the Heat had a franchise record for most starting lineups in a regular season. Bam mentioned that you guys did a good job kind of adjusting to all the different lineups and adjustments. Spo mentioned specifically 3 offensive philosophies and trying to find a consistency there. How hard is it to maintain that throughout a season and kind of just adjust game by game, not knowing exactly who's going to be there and what game plan you're going to be running?
Yeah, it can definitely definitely can be challenging a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, the main goal is to just find a way to win the game, no matter who's playing, who's not playing. Obviously for me, I was in and out the lineup, starting, not starting, sometimes not playing, then playing a lot, then but I mean that's how the season is, 82-game season. Everybody's not gonna play all 82 games. So we got to figure it out, and figure out different ways to win, even when we don't have some of our main guys, or we do have some of our main guys, and some other people are missing. So it's the NBA season. Stuff happens, and it's a lot of adversity, a lot of ups and downs. You just got to figure out ways to win.
H. Spo's always said that the Heat aren't for everyone. What have you liked most about not just how intense it is to be here, to be around here? What Pat and Spo and those guys ask of players?
Yeah, I mean, like I said this before. Before I got here, I had no idea what Heat culture was and how it was here. I've heard bits and pieces about different things, and I didn't know if it was true or not. But being here now for a couple of years now, I definitely would say that it just feels like family here. It definitely feels like family, and it's all about winning, figuring out ways to win a championship, figuring out ways to compete for a championship. They're not about tanking or low management, none of that stuff. They're all about winning, and I respect that as a competitor myself. And also sometimes it's tough love here. They're gonna tell you how it is, not gonna sugarcoat it. And for me, like for somebody like me, I need something like that. Somebody's not gonna baby me or tell me what I want to hear, tell me the right things that I need to hear, and tell me if I'm not playing hard enough. Tell me if I'm not doing this, and just look me in my eyes, man to man. So I mean, here is like I love it here because they just it's definitely it matches me, who I am and how I got here. So I love it here for sure.
Patty, when you arrived here with such big expectations, thoughts, deep playoff runs, looked at this team's success. Can you sort of take us through the end game for you, how it played out, how this time with the Heat has been, and are you considering extending the time with the Heat if offered?
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride, I guess. My first time changing teams mid-season. And I think coming to, such a strong cultured organization in the Miami Heat, for me, it was, it was a surprising just how strong, my feelings were about a place like this, knowing how strong the foundation was, knowing how strong the culture was. I got an overwhelming hit of it on arrival, and I think that caught me off guard because it was everything that I value as a person, as family, and I think how strong my culture is where I'm from in Australia as an Indigenous Australian, and how strong all daily practices culturally are to me, living on the other side of the world. I found those similarities in the Miami Heat culture. And very quickly I inherited everything that this organization is about and felt every part of that. So as hard as the adjustment was to get into everything at the end of the season and make a run, I enjoyed every part of it. So obviously unfortunate, situations to be where we're at right now. Obviously would love to be competing still in the NBA playoffs, but it was also a reminder just, how hard it is to be in the NBA playoffs, how hard it is to win in the NBA playoffs and then be the last team standing. But at the same time, that they are reminders that like this is what you want as a competitive basketball player. You want to be in the NBA playoffs. You want to be battling with your team, being in the trenches, going through the ups and downs of a season, and knowing that you're going to leave everything out there on the court for the betterment of the locker room, for the betterment of the organization, and it fuels the fire for the future, as I'm sure all the other guys in the locker room, especially the young guys. But I guess, yeah, my role of coming and being here, having the experience that I've been fortunate enough to have been 13 playoffs over the 15 years, a championship, and then experience of international basketball as well, and an Olympic medal under the belt. I think bringing that to this locker room with the talented young guys that we have here is the least that I can do, and try to see how I can add to this organization that way. But it was just so good to see Nico and Jaime out there getting some playoff experience, and seeing how I can add to that. But at the end of the day, this has been just such a prestigious feeling, I guess, to be a part of this organization, and I've learnt so much that I can put forward to other things in life. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Long-winded answer there for you, mate, so hopefully I hit something right.
You mentioned Nico and Jaime. I know the young guys have talked about you being a mentor and being that type of leader for them. I'm just wondering that in this short span, what are the ways you've seen them kind of grow into this role that obviously they had to step into a much, with guys out, much bigger role? Just what are the ways you've seen them grow?
Oh man, their talent is through the roof. The potential, skill base that naturally they have, And I think you've seen them from game reps in game situations. You've seen them improve basketball IQ wise. And the game will continue to grow and continue to change, and they'll be here for a long time now to see how that goes. But I think from getting that game experience in hard playoff basketball, you've seen them having to probably the initial shock of, okay, this is not the regular season now. How can I adapt? How can I make my imprints on this game? But having that talent and experience at such a young age is just going to be huge for them, for the long run. But I think the basketball IQ part, you've seen them adjust, slightly throughout, this end of the season. So, coming into next season, you'll know that Jaime will be able to improve his game as a ball handler and playmaker, and being able to get into the paint and make quick and right decisions that way. Nico's just gifted in all aspects. His height, his length, he's being the guy, also being able to carry the ball up the floor, a little bit of that BAM and playmaking as well. So I'll be looking forward to playing against Nico and the national team this year, I think.
Patty, you played for one of the great ones in San Antonio, and I'm sure there's appreciation for Spo playing across from him, but how has your perspective changed on Spo and that you've gotten to play under him?
Oh, mate, it was great. I think after being with Pop for so long, which was 10 years, and inheriting everything that the Spurs culture is about, and especially Pop, both on and off the court, and seeing Spo from that side of the fence, right? I think I really didn't know what to expect in coming here, other than just what you hear. But coming here, there's definitely some similarities of approach to this game, love to this game, love to the players in their locker room, and there's a genuine, I feel, connection there of wanting the best for those players, and I think that's what I felt in here coming in late, but what I felt quickly is that there's a genuine want, for their players and what's best for them, and you feel that quickly. But seeing Spo in his realm as a head coach and how intense he is and passionate, I think I really enjoyed. Seeing him stand at the front of his, 12 to 15, 17 players, how many we have. It's clear that he steers the ship here, and he steers it in a way that everyone follows and everyone wants to follow. So when he stands in front of you and he makes the mark, it's very easy to follow that way and do the best for him. But I think that's one part that I really enjoy, him setting the benchmark, and then everyone else kind of falling in line.
Patty, you mentioned Heat culture, and in these past few months, you've been able to experience the fans. If you had a message that you would want to give to them of your appreciation for the environment that they've created here at home, what would it be?
Oh, that's great. Look, I think the first part is being able to welcome me with such open arms since coming in here in 2014, and I won't get into that, but I'm glad that there was a 10-year, whole decade worth of gap between, what happened then and then me coming. So I knew that was some, different feelings there at the beginning, but I really want to thank the fans for welcoming me in at the end of the season with such open arms. It was great, whether it was within the arena here or on the streets, or even on the road. There was some memories and flashbacks of not so good ones in the past, but then being able to be a part of this and essentially be, part of the same family as them. It was a great feeling. Being the first number 88 was something that the fans always said that they loved, and there's always that connection now that there's some good ones there along the way too, it was just really good to feel as not only a player that's been in the league for some time now, but someone that's come from Australia, the other side of the world, and finding that connection. So I've felt the other side being a Spur, how the fans are here at home, and then feeling it on that side of the fence, and how it can ignite games and momentum changing plays, whether it's a three, a dunk, a stop or dive on the loose ball. I know I really, play that way passionately when you feel the fans above, on top of you. It really helps you kick in another gear, and that all comes from the energy in the crowd. So that's definitely, what I felt playing a few of those games out there. Thanks, guys.